Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. Next question, Brandon. Hey, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Eric McCabe, The Truth, and Robert, the Honorable Man McCall. You're very honorable.
I've been called worse.
Yeah, dishonorable.
Yeah, Robert the Dishonorable.
I have a question on backhand drive techniques regarding pivot point on heel.
Pivot.
On the on the last step of your drive, knowing that I'm throwing with an X step, the last step should be the biggest step. And my question is that on that last step, should I be stepping on ball of foot and pivot on ball of foot when transferring weight, or stepping from ball of foot, then transferring weight to heel and pivot on follow through? That was a long sentence.
I'm actually really proud of you for getting through it correctly. That was really good.
How do you know he got through it correctly?
That's true. He could have just said whatever.
No, I read it word for word.
I'm just going to say ball of foot a bunch of times.
And lack of,
Heel, toe.
what's it called?
What? Improvisation?
No. What is it called? Periods and
Punctuation.
I don't know, but you're going to have
Thank
to reread the
Also,
question.
what can I do to retrain myself to pivot on heel? Ready? On the last step of your drive, knowing that I'm throwing with an X step, the last step should be the biggest step. And my question is that on the last step, should I be stepping on ball of foot and pivot on ball of foot when transferring weight, or stepping from ball of foot, then transferring weight to heel and pivot on follow through?
Got it.
Eric's
What do you think about this? Yeah, he's just mixing it up.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the shot, too, a little bit. I mean, I personally am always on my toes. I feel like I'm more balanced when I'm on the balls of my feet as opposed to on my heels, and I'm a natural hyzer release player. I go straight to the ball. I unless I'm throwing like a big turnover shot or a huge roller, it's the only time I'll go heel toe. Mm-hmm. I know that's probably a little unorthodox for certain players, because I know a lot of the players, when they're getting that pivot point, the pop comes from the heel spin, heel toe, right, which is probably why I'm really awful on shoes too. But for me, my center of balance, I mean, being a gymnast, I was always told never be on your heels,
right?
Because you're more balanced when you're on the balls at your feet. So that's how I've always done it, and that's how I adapted it into my game.
I would want to slow down your form and just look only at your feet, because I feel like when people watch you throw, they're not focused on your feet. They're focused on your flexibility from your follow through, which is, pretty crazy to watch. But I would assume that you get to either midfoot or heel at some point, even if you're up on your toes.
I'm not straight on nothing.
Right.
That's like almost impossible.
Correct.
I'm definitely on heel a little bit, but most of my focus
but you feel,
is on the balls
that makes more
of my
sense.
feet.
Yeah. I would say if you are already rotating on your toe, then you are, unless you come from a background where you are specifically used to being on your toes, I think you're missing out on integrating some of your bigger muscle groups. I feel like I always say, when I try to say bigger muscle groups, I always say big ol' muscle globes.
That's what you said. Big
ol' muscle globes.
Bigger
muscle groups. And that's because once your heel comes down, you really engage more of your quad and even into your glutes in that. And so I would recommend, if you're trying to retrain yourself, don't do a run up for a minute. Take one step, put your toe down, do it really slowly. Put your toe down and then put that heel down, and just do that a whole bunch. And it's likely that you're not actually rotating on your toe, but it just feels like you are.
Exactly.
And so practice that, and then just video yourself, and you'll start to see, because you can only feel so much when you're throwing because of how quickly everything happens. So if you video yourself and watch that you go toe, heel, throw, then I think you'll have a better idea of what it needs to be like. Then you can speed that up. Then you can integrate a run up, things like that.
Yep.